What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the next iteration in this DaVinci Resolve tutorial. Today we're going to be actually getting into green screens. So green screening, and actually this is not supposed to be a Luma key. This should probably say more like a Delta key. You can actually remove color and stuff with the Luma key or two, but we'll get into that another day. So I want to go ahead and make that correction here on the video, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the software. So obviously we're still working on our footage here from our last video, and one of the things that I'm going to recommend that you do anytime you have any kind of fusion stuff that you've done is to go ahead and render that if you're going to add additional layers on top of that, just to make things easier for green screening. So go ahead and have your final composite or whatever you're going to do, and go ahead and just render that in place. So I would go ahead and just click on this file or this clip here, right click on it, and simply go to render in place. Now if you're gonna do render in place, I recommend doing H.264 and just so you can get a really smooth playback. And then I would go ahead and render at source resolution. Okay, so those are kind of my settings there I would recommend. Now you're probably wondering, why do we need to remove the green screen? What is the point of the green screen? You guys know I like to get into the why first, right? So let's say, for example, you wanted to put your subject in an entirely different universe. Maybe it's a sci-fi film, you want to show them another planet. Well, you'd film that person on a green screen so that you can replace everything that's green with another environment. Pretty cool, right? Another reason why you may want to do a green screen is when filming like laptop screens and other screens where they have maybe like flicker and maybe the shutter and things like that it was not filmed properly, and you want like a really clean way of showing like a software on a screen. Well, you could use a green screen on an actual laptop or computer screen and just replace it with whatever graphics that you want. So there's a lot of different things I can think of on why you'd want to replace a green screen, or why you'd want to even film with a green screen to begin with. This video is going to be rather short but simple and straightforward, but I'm going to show you two ways on how you can replace a green screen, two ways that have given me the most success. Okay, alright, so we have a green screen now on the laptop. What we're going to do is right click on it, and we're going to go ahead and hit open in the Fusion page. And the first and foremost way to fix or remove the green screen is we're going to go ahead and hit Control and space on the keyboard, and then I'm going to type in Delta, and you'll see Delta key will pull up. Go ahead and hit add, and it went on ahead and attached it to our little node tree here. And then all we need to do is go over here to the right hand side, and believe it or not, it is as simple as taking this little eyedropper, clicking it, dragging it all the way over to here, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, we now have our green screen placed. Now if you go over to your editing tab, you'll see that that green screen is actually placed. So I'll go ahead and hit play, and you'll see that there is no longer a green screen. It is now fully replaced with our words test on there, as we learned in our last video. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, well, is that the only way to do it? Do we have to always use Fusion? Of course, we are learning all this stuff in Fusion, but I will show you another way of doing it, and for those of you that just don't want to have to deal with Fusion to begin with. So if we scroll down a little bit in my footage here, I have some other footage that we have. We're going to jump to it, and this one is of course of a lady here in front of a green screen that I filmed in an office space, and of course we're going to go ahead and remove that. Well, you probably wonder, well, why do we need to have more options? Well, I'll go and tell you right now, if you don't know this, green screen filming presents a lot of challenges, and while it is really cool how you can put people into different environments, it can pose a lot of risks in post-production if it's not lit well and properly. So we're going to try our first method, and then we're going to compare it with the second method. So let's go ahead and go into DaVinci Resolve, and let's go ahead and take this and right click on it, go ahead and go into let's go to Fusion, actually open in Fusion page, and then we're going to go ahead and click on our first node. We're going to hit Control space, again Delta here, we're going to hit add, we're going to go ahead and drag and drop the eyedropper, and boom, there we have it. It replaced the screen. Let's go ahead and play it. As you can see, it did replace the background with pretty much nothing, and I can put whatever background that I want on there. So I can now make the green screen be whatever I want. So let's go over here to our generators, and let's go to solid color. Let's put this here, and maybe I want the background to be, maybe I want it to be white, right? So let's do it and change it to a different color. Instead of black, let's make it white, and voila, we now have the green screen replaced. Now you'll notice something interesting on the screen when we're looking at this. You guys see these artifacts here? So I don't know if you guys can actually see this noise here, but it is pretty noisy, and I hope that YouTube can do a really good job of showing this. Hopefully it's not compressed. You guys hopefully see that, but if you don't, you guys can trust me, okay, that there is something wrong with this footage, okay? It is intentionally wrong for teaching purposes. So now we're going to go ahead and fix this, right? So in order to fix this, all we need to do is, there are a lot of ways we can do it, but now you can see why the delta keyer is not sufficient. So this is where I'm going to give you guys another way of removing a green screen, and that is using something called the 3D keyer. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and jump into DaVinci Resolve. Let's go ahead and go in here, go ahead and hit our Fusion page. Let's go ahead and remove our delta keyer. Let's bring our green screen back, go back to our editing page. Okay, now we're going to go over to Open Effects, and we're going to look for something called keyer, and it is called 3D keyer. We're going to drag and drop it onto here, and now you'll see, okay, there's still a green screen there. Well, if you go over here to the right hand side, after you drag and drop it onto your footage, you'll want to go ahead and click on this little wand icon, and then you'll just simply draw onto where there is green, and it will replace all of the green screen with whatever it is. Now you'll notice that there are still some artifacts, like, you know, you still see the green through the chair, you see some green here in the reflection. So how do we get rid of that? Well, simply you can go over here to the right and you can change your settings, like, you know, you can make it soft, you can make it tight, you can make it flat, you can make the despill even more accurate, and now you start to see that this is actually very, very close to what we want, right? We're actually able to remove the green screen. So that is pretty much it. So if I turn off the 3D keyer, before, after, obviously you can see that her shirt did change here. She happened to be wearing a green shirt that day, so that of course is on the production side. Nothing we can really do about that except for making a tracker in the color page and doing it there. Okay, all right, so that is green screen. So yeah, and now if we play this video back, now you get this really clean edge here, and of course you can make this edge even better by going over to key adjustments and making this soft, and you know, so on and so forth, just so that you can get a lot more of an accurate edge. I think that's one of the main issue with green screen, is getting a good edge that doesn't look fake. All right, so now can you do this in Fusion? I'm gonna be honest with you, I am not sure, so let's find out together. So let's start over from scratch. Can you do 3D keyer in Fusion? I'm very curious. Let's go over here, right click on it. We're gonna go ahead and open in Fusion page. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control Space. We're gonna type in key, and there is a 3D keyer, and here it is. Boom. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. It looks kind of similar. We're just gonna draw our stroke here, and voila. It looks like we do have it, but I can see some pretty hard green spots here. So we're going to go and turn our despill up a little bit to about right here. And it looks like it did a good job of it. So let's go to our edit page. And sure enough, we were able to do that in the Fusion page. All right, guys. So that is pretty much it for green screens. That was a pretty simple one. That was going to really conclude really us here in the Fusion page. I've been really looking forward to getting into the delivery page, mainly because there is a lot in the delivery page that a lot of people just don't know, and I think it's worth showing you guys. I think you deserve to know what's all that's in there, and some stuff in there that you probably didn't know, like how you can actually do 12-bit and 16-bit color outputs, and uncompressed video edits, and all that stuff. So we're gonna get into that next, and then we're gonna recircle back around to Fusion, only because I wanted this course to be more beginner friendly, and then we're gonna have more of a deep dive later in the series. So either way, without further ado, I am looking forward to getting into finally a new tab, the deliver tab. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a wonderful year, and we'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. See ya.